Seeds are a key input for the production of the annual crops that provide most of the world's food requirement. They are both the means of establishing a new crop each season, and they determine the genetic potential of the crop that is grown. Seeds also provide the vehicle to transfer new varieties from research institutions into the farming community. Despite this fundamental role in crop production, seeds also have some special attributes arising from their biological properties, which make them a difficult product to handle. This is not only a result of physiological or genetics, which are of general application, but there are also strong economic and policy dimensions that are specific to crops, countries, and regions. In the past, the Nigerian rice sector has seen some remarkable developments and challenges in the area of production and consumption. Notwithstanding, the production increase was insufficient to match the consumption increase, with rice importation making up the shortfall. Nevertheless, rice is now one of the structural components of the Nigerian diet, while its importation contributes negatively to the nation's economic growth and development. These led to a considerable interest by President Goodluck Jonathan's administration to increase the production of local rice in the country. Hence, relevant bodies and institutions should take up the responsibility of educating and sensitizing the farmers on the difference between seed and grain. In view of the recent resurgence of an active interest to develop the rice sector in Nigeria, the federal government, under the leadership of President Goodluck Jonathan, calls for stakeholders and private sector intervention to work towards making quality certified seeds available to our farmers for the attainment of Vision 2015 of the federal government of Nigeria to stop the importation of rice. Driven by this zeal is the establishment of modern seed processing plants by Kojoli Farms Limited to support the actualization of the vision of the federal government to make available quality seeds to our farmers in the Northeast sub-region and the country at large. Kojoli Farms Limited is into seed production and seed processing using one of the latest agro-processing plants recommended by agricultural economists and agronomists in the world. In Kojoli Farms Limited, seed processing starts at the harvesting stage, as combined harvester is used for the harvesting of the matured rice seed.
Yeah, here is the harvesting process, and from here, after we have harvested our seeds, we will now proceed to the processing plant. As you can see, the combined harvester, it has already harvested the rice, and then now charging on our lorry here. This lorry will now convey the seeds to the processing plant.
The chairman, Kojoli Farms Limited, Alhaji Haman Bello Ahmed, followed by the farmer engineer, Ahmed Haji, speak on the standard and stages involved in seed processing by Kojoli Farms Limited.
What we do here is to process seeds for our who will produce grains for the millers. As you are aware, the federal government intends to ban the importation of rice into this country by the year 2015. And we took this as a challenge to produce quality seeds for our teeming farmers who will produce grains for the milling factories. This is the rice seeds that we harvested from the farm that comes into the factory. Now, here you can see this rice with some impurities. And we need to clean this so that we get pure and fully matured seeds with about 98% germination rate. So this is what we want to do. So from here, they will pick this rice. You see, this is what they do. They pick the rice from here and carry it to the intercopper. They'll carry this rice into this intercopper. What do they do here?
Here we have this intercopper has magnetic screen. It removes any metal device that is in the mixture of the rice. It traps all the metals and particles that are of big size.
Now, the metal may be obtained during the process of harvesting.
Yeah.
So, this hopper here, with the metallic screens, it traps all the metals and even some larger particles, stones and what have you, that comes with the rice from the farm. Now, from here, the rice moves through the bell conveyor. You can see the bell conveyor. It moves up into the precliner. Now, what is the function of the precliner?
This precliner here removes large particles from the seeds. It separates the large particles from the seeds. This is
now here. This thing is tied here. The bag is tied here. You tie the bag here so that all the large particles, all the impurities that come up from the intercopper into the precliner, the impurities come down here. Now you can see the impurities that is removed from the rice. This is what is removed from the rice. All the impurities drop into this bag. And then the rice now moves to
cleaner
through the belt elevator. It carries the rice into the...
From this outlet, it enters into the belt elevator.
And goes into the cleaner, which is up.
Here is the cleaning section. From pre-cleaner, our rice is conveyed up to this cleaning section. This cleaning section has up to 4 different screens. And these 4 different screens are based on different particles that we have in our seed. So these first screens here will remove particles of about 1.5 millimeters. And then the second one there will remove particles that are up to 2 millimeters. Then the third screen there, as you can see, is about, it removes all the rice, the good seeds pass through that screen there. And particles that are larger than the rice are trapped and they are removed from that outlet there. If you go down, you will see the outlet. The laborers, as you can see, they will collect it downstairs, the particles. Then the seeds from here will be collected in our indented cylinder. These screens here, as you see, also remove broken rice. It removes broken rice because these are the, you can see here, these are the broken rice, and there are some seeds too that are being harvested. So we have to remove the seeds of some wheat from the pure seed that we are producing. Here we obtain that quality of good seed, and then it moves to the indented cylinder, where we have final removal of broken rice in indented cylinder.
Okay, we go down and see the indented cylinder. Now these impurities come through this tube and be collected in this bag. Now I think there are some that are still remaining. Okay, these are some of the broken rice and some wheat seeds that was trapped by the cleaner and comes down through this tube here.
All this one is connected.
Okay? Now, from the cleaner, it comes to this indented cylinder. Here too, it has some screens, and it removes all the broken rice that finds its way from the intake hopper up to the cleaner. Cleans everything. So from here, the rice now moves
To the gravity separator.
up, down to the gravity separator. Now, this is the gravity separator. You can come up. This is the gravity separator. The rice now, from the indented cylinder, it comes down through that tube into the gravity separator. When the machine is on, is working, this one will be shaking. Now, all the good rice, heavier and good rice, come up here and then pass through these openings that you can see. It goes down, the good rice. The lighter one and the empty particles and even some impurities will now go down. It will go down and come through these openings here. Come through this opening into this tube. It goes into the waste basket. Now, here is the waste basket.
This is the collection.
Yes, this is why we collect the waste from the gravity separator. You can see, very light. These are empty particles.
This
Not
one,
good light. You can see as if it is.
you
a
might
free
think
light.
it is good seeds, but actually it's not good seeds because it is empty panicles. If any farmer that plant this one, in short, he will not get anything.
It's
out
not
of
going to
it.
germinate.
It's not going to germinate. So we have to take rid of these empty panicles.
So the good rice now come through this tube here.
This is the collection of the good rice.
Good rice. From here it now goes up.
The treatment unit.
We have the treatment unit, and it can also come down to the collection hopper or weighing section. So come up again. Don't be tired with us. From the gravity separator downstairs, the rice come up through this bed,
Elevator.
this elevator, and then it comes to this section. Here you can see a cross section. Now, if you see how you direct your rice, where you want it to go. If you want to treat the rice, the seeds, if you want to treat the seeds, then you move this gear to this side. So the rice now comes down into this hopper. And here, this is our treatment cylinder. We mix chemicals. The chemical we now use is acrostar. So we mix it here, and then as the rice comes down, it will be spraying on the rice.
Uniformly.
Now, yes, uniformly. Now, the reason for that is to protect your seeds or our seeds from bacterial and insectal infections. And that's why we are treating the seeds. And once you treat the seeds are for planting only, not for consumption. However, if maybe there are some millers who don't have the cleaning plant, want us to clean the rice for them before milling, we can also do it. So as the rice come up from the gravity separator, we move this gear in this direction. We are closing this side of the treatment section. Now the rice comes through this place and goes down into this large hopper downstairs. from this hopper, you can see it's very clean rice that is down. Very, very clean. 98% purity. No contamination. So from here, it now goes down for bagging. So we go down again, you see our bagging section. Okay? This area. Now, before we go into the operation of the bagging machines, we have 3 different bagging sizes. Now, this one that I brought you is a customized bag for the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. And this one is specially designed for the flood recovery program of the government. As I told you, and you are aware, there was a flood disaster in the country this rainy season. So government wants to assist farmers from the flood. So they want us to bag the seeds into this 50 kg bag. Now, the other side here is the seeds is being produced or being supplied by Kojoli farms. And this one is for Narika L96. We have 4 varieties: Narika L90, Narika L34, Faro 52, and Faro 44. But this bag is for Narika L19. Now, let me also reiterate here that these seeds in this bag have been treated with apron star. It is not for sale, neither is it for consumption. It is for planting. Now, for our own marketing, for our own packaging, we have a 25 kg bag. This one is for Kojoli farm. We bag it in 25 kg bag and sell it to our farmers. Then, for the low-income farmers who cannot afford to get 50 kg or 25 kg or 100 kg, we have a 2 kg bag for them. So we package it in 2 kg and then we sell it to our distributors. They are all over the northern states or the eastern part of the country. In Yola, Borno, Yobe, Gombe, Bauchi, Taraba, and even up to Kano and Jigawa. Now, this rice, we have this particular rice, this bag. Now, yes, it fits here. It fits to this weighing scale. It fits to this weighing scale. Now here, this is our scale. This scale is for 50 kg. The moment you have 50 kg, as you can see, the machine stops. The moment you have 50 kg, it will automatically stop by itself, and then they remove it. Once it is removed from here, before we stitch the bag, we have to put our label. We have to put the label of the National Agricultural Seed Council. Now, this label is to show that the rice had been certified by the National Agricultural Seed Council. It is signed by the certification officer in Adamawa State. You can see at the back here where it is signed. Now, on it, you have to show the type of crop, which is rice, the cultivar, that is the variety, which is Faro 52 or Faro L19. Then this one is inserted in the bag. The Kojoli farm too has its own label. It's compulsory for us to attach. And there is also a warning here that it has been treated with apron star. So it's not for consumption. It's primarily for sowing, for planting. So this one too is put inside the bag. Now, during stitching, from outside also, when you are stitching, you have to put the label of the National Agricultural Seed Council before you stitch it. So that is, once this is done, the rice is now ready for distribution. So we distribute it to our outlets in the states I've mentioned, and even if it is a contract by the government, we now distribute it to the various redemption centers where the rice are to be distributed to farmers. Now, the whole of this machine, as you can see, is obtained from Alvan Blanch of UK. And Alvan Blanch is one of the leading factories or companies in the world that process seeds for farmers. So it's one of the best, or the best I can say, in the country. So once you obtain rice from Kojoli farm, or the seeds from Kojoli farm, you are guaranteed you are having good and quality seeds for germination.
To ensure that quality seed is made available to our farmers in the country, Kojoli Farms Limited also carries out scientific analysis before and after processing of the seed from the processing plant.
My name is Rebecca Modi, a lab technician. I'm with Engineer Ahmed from Kojoli Farm with the rice seed for analysis to determine the purity of the seed, vector content, the weight, and the germination rate of the seed. So, Engineer, why do we determine or analyze the seed?
Yes, we in Kojoli Farm, we carry out the seed analyzing test with the view of providing our Nigerian farmers with good quality seed to boost their rice production. Okay. Yes, we achieve this with the aid of this equipment. We have our purity board here. You see this purity board, we already have sample of rice on this board. With your eyes, you can see if there are impurities or not.
This rice is pure.
You remove your hopper. This is seed moisture content analyzer. Within 6 seconds, you will get your results by just pressing on, and then you select the variety.
Okay, Engineer, after going through the analysis, what is the benefit to our Nigerian farmers?
Yes, our Nigerian farmers stand to benefit a lot from this analysis. One of the benefits is that they will be provided with a full matured seed with 98% germination rate. And with this kind of percentage, the farmers are assured that they will have good yield.
In addition to its major contribution to the transformation agenda of the Goodluck Jonathan's administration, the Kojoli Farms also help to effectively transform lives of youths in the immediate surrounding communities of the area through job creation.
My name is Kojoli. I'm in Kojoli Farm. You are here, you are operating with more than 20 people here. You are more than 20 here. We are working here, all of us here. We are just barangari inside town without anything. Now we have a job to do here. Alaji Hama help us. If you can get a person like Alaji Hama, 5 people in this town, you can just drop off all of us just because you can't sit down like that.
There is no doubt that the use of quality seed by our farmers will help them to save money on the inputs for crop production, and because of higher yields, farmers will get more income and have more food for the family and for export.